Hey, man. How's life?
Good.
Family doing good?
Yeah, it was great. It's cold, man.
Yeah. This is dry.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Nate. Good. Joining us right now is five-time defending NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion Jimmie Johnson. He drives the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. He's also a six-time winner here at Martinsville Speedway. Jimmie, you smelled victory last week. You're coming to a place where you've experienced it many, many times. Talk about your outlook coming in here to Martinsville this weekend.
Yeah, obviously excited to come back to a track that we run so well at. When I look at the last 2 weeks and the fact that we were in the hunt for both wins, says a lot about the team and the progress we're making. So, excited about where we're at. I wish that we had 2 wins under our belt right now, and we're talking about a hopeful third for this weekend. But we climbed up a lot in the points. That was really one of our first goals, was to just stop the bleeding after Daytona. And then we had some troubles there at Vegas with a poor finish. And it just looks so daunting, where you are in points when you drop a lot with the new point system. It's so tough to make it up that I'm very happy to be up in the top 5. And hopefully we can get some distance between us and 10th as time goes on here. So all in all, excited. We've been decent here the last couple times. We need to be a little bit better to have a shot at winning, and we're looking forward to doing that today.
Okay, thank you, Jimmie. We'll start with questions. We'll start right here with Monty. And we'll go to Reed and then go to Mr. Buck, right? What's your first name? Johnny Buck. Okay, go ahead.
Monty Dutton, Gaston Gazette. Jimmie, one of the fascinating aspects of short track racing is that just about every damn one of them, you would think with 43 cars on this tiny little track that it would almost be random, that something's going to happen. But yet, whether it's Bristol or Martinsville or Richmond, it seems like invariably there's 1 or 2 drivers over a period of time who establish sort of a mastery, who win 1 or 2 of them win every race. Can you lend any insight into why what seems to be the opposite of the logical is the truth?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that it really boils down to kind of the mental status of the driver. And when you come to a track where you've had a lot of success and you have a good car and a good baseline, it's easier to control emotions. You know that you can work your way forward, you can pass people, the setup you're looking for. And I think that kind of works into a driver's kind of favor during a race. I know when I come here, if we don't qualify well, don't be in a big hurry. It's going to be a long race. I know that I'll work my way to the top 5. I know I can come down pit road and pick up some spots. So you're just a little bit more relaxed. At tracks where you struggle at, once you get track position, or if you have track position at the start of the race, you're just defending and maybe in a different place mentally and chopping people, rubbing on people, creating some issues that then lead to some DNFs. So I think a lot of it has to do with the mental status of it. And guys that like certain tracks typically can find a way by without making enemies, and then you're usually not in a position to defend and to make enemies then as well.
Okay, we'll go to Reed. Raise your hand, Reed. We'll go to Reed, Johnny, and over here to Drew. And then to Nate. We'll work our way around. Go ahead.
Reed Spencer at Sporting News. Jimmie, in your career, you've never been longer than 19 races without a win. You're at 13 now. Given the fact that you're so used to winning, do you get antsy when you get up to like 10 or 12 races without going to victory lane?
No, I don't think about it much, to be honest with you. Wins are also special, even though we have 53 of them. I mean, every one of them is very special to me. So I don't really think of stretches. I do know that we get to a certain point where the questions start coming up, and I think it's kind of funny that at 13 and people are making, have some concern that it's a long stretch. We've done a great job to put ourselves in that position, so I got to look at the positive in things. But I feel like we're knocking on the door, so regardless of what the outcome is on Sunday, the last 2 weeks we've been a threat for the win. And if you're in that position consistently enough, you'll get your victories. And I've always believed by that and still do today.
Okay, we'll go to Johnny Buck, and we'll go to over here to Drew, and then to Nate.
Johnny Buck with the Martinsville Bulletin. Jimmie, how tough is this place on rookies, and what in your mind would be a realistic good finish for a Cup driver at Martinsville for the very first time?
Yeah, it is tough. And I truthfully believe it's very tough to be a rookie today, period, without testing. I had the luxury to come up and test. I think we tested twice my rookie year. First race I was terrible. Second race I did a better job. So that the testing helps speed up that curve. In today's world, if it's a track that doesn't fit a team or a driver, it takes a long time. I mean, it really does. So I think staying on the lead lap is a good goal for a rookie coming here, staying out of trouble. Also, it kind of fits into that same thing. And, I try not to rule out any rookies because when we see Trevor winning the Daytona 500, no one would have bet on that. So just because certain tracks and trends don't show that they're good for rookies, it doesn't mean that it can't happen. So, when I came here, my goal was to stay on the lead lap, and I didn't meet my goal first time or the second time. I guess the second time I did, but once I was lapped by Stewart, I then figured out kind of how to drive the place.
Let's go over here to Drew, Nate Ryan, David Newton.
Hi, Drew Wilson, Danville Register and B. Going back to 2005, entering the spring race at Martinsville, whoever's leading the standings has never gone on to win the title. Is there any advantage, disadvantage to leading this early? And as history shows, I guess it doesn't mean that you have to be at the top to go on and finish the season strong.
I don't think there's any disadvantage, especially in today's world with bonus points carrying over into the chase. I think the one point that lies within that is that there's a lot of racing over the course of the summer, and we're 5 or 6 in, we still have 20 to go. There's just a lot of racing left, and a lot can happen. So I think there's more in that than anything, but winning races and leading the points early, there's no downfall to that.
Up here to Nate, and then we'll go to David and Claire B.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Jimmie, Denny comes in here in a similar position to last year, where he's 22nd in points. Last year he was 19th. He won here, and it kicked off his stretch of Texas, Darlington. He suddenly became a championship contender. If he wins Sunday, do you look at him the same way, and are you a believer that that one win sometimes is all a team needs to get things turned around and right the ship?
A win never hurts, for sure. We race on so many different types of tracks that it's hard to say a short track win will help you go to Texas and run well and so forth and so on. We are talking about great tracks for Denny, so last year could be, we could see this happen again, what we did last year, because of the team and the tracks that are on the schedule that are really good for those guys. But a win doesn't necessarily guarantee you that. And in my mind, I know he's not high in points. I didn't know where he was, but you have to think he's going to be there at Martinsville. And you really don't start worrying about a championship threat until the chase starts. And really everybody's a threat at that point. We have 12 guys that are all very, very close in points, and you race from there. But in my mind, I just can't see the 11 car not being in the championship battle.
Let's go here to David, Claire, and then back all the way back to Marty.
Yeah, David Newton, ESPN.com. Jimmie, you've been compared to Superman before Denny got on his roll of 3 wins in a row here. Did you feel like Superman when you came to this track, that you were unbeatable? And a second question after that is, you're going to only run 2 laps tomorrow. Is that almost a wasted day for you?
Yeah, it's wild to only run 2 laps tomorrow. I don't know why we're experimenting with this type of schedule, because the guys are still here. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, in my opinion, what the drivers are really after. I guess the fans are first and foremost, but then next one in line I would say would be the mechanics and crews working on these cars, and they have a bear of a day on Fridays with this type of schedule, and then an okay day tomorrow, a pretty light day for just 2 laps. So it's just weird. You'd rather spread that workload out over the 2 days to take care of your crew guys, but we'll try it, and if it makes the fans, and I don't know where or how, but if it does help on that side, we'll take it. What was the first part? Oh, I've never been one to feel like there's one race when I was young, racing off-road buggies, that I went to a local track, and I thought, I've raced with the big guys. This is a slam dunk. The first obstacle on the track, I hit too fast, flipped end over end, and was unconscious and in the ambulance. So from that point on, I'm like, never enter a situation thinking you've got it covered. And it's just stuck with me ever since. So there's that. And then, too, at the Cup level, you can't just assume things. So, no, I've never felt like I was guaranteed a win here. But I just felt like I would be in the hunt. And that's all I was really after. And we've had some races come our way. We've had other races that we just wore them out. So you just ask for that chance to be in the hunt.